Okay, so this is the box you would get from Lucy Holland if you go up to the second floor of the library. I'll show you in a second how to book it, but it's just like booking a computer room. It's on Engage. There are sort of step-by-step instructions on the front in terms of what's in the box. I feel like we're doing like a YouTube unboxing video here. Don't forget to subscribe. That's important because it has the passwords and bits and pieces. You get an iPad mini. I'll just pop that to one side for a second. And this is the main part of it here. The Swivl case. There's loads of little wires and stuff. You don't really need to worry too much about those. There's a charger and stuff. I've asked Lucy to chuck it on charge every week, so it should normally be charged. Again, though, advice-wise, what I'd say to you is do check it out before. The only wire you need is the short white one at this stage, because that connects the iPad to the robot. And then this is the main bit you need. This is the device with the remote. There's other stuff in here, and we can go into more detail later on with having more than one controller, but I'm not going to worry too much about that for now because they're not too important. And I'm going to pop the rest of this out of the way. You need to hook up the iPad and connect it to the device, and that's pretty straightforward. On the back of the device here, there's a small, I think it's a micro USB, and then this little meter will go in there. I can navigate this right way around. There we go. Grab this, pop it around your neck, and we'll come back to that in a minute. And your iPad should sit quite nicely on that little groove there. It should fit in. And then we're pretty much set up. That's how the kind of device will look. I'm going to turn it on at the front there with the on button, which is pretty straightforward. Hold it for a second, and the Swivl machine has woken up. Now what it's looking for is it's looking for this. This will emit an infrared dot or an LED, and this little strip at the front sees that. So if I come around to the side now and then turn this on, again the little on button there, turn it on, a couple of seconds, it should light up, and hopefully in a second the machine will start to see the device and it will start to follow me around. So I can move around here, it's following me, which is wonderful. Now,
which button you press that?
Just the on button, just
on,
the
yeah.
on button. Now to turn it off a second.
So on here and on there.
That's it. To turn the iPad on, so just wake it up. 1, 1, 2, 2, like all of the passwords. Now on here, there's a little Swivl app, nice big S there, so it's the Swivl app. Turn that on, and it should activate the front camera, and ta-da, we can see all of you. And now if I turn my little device on again here, the tracker, it should see me. It's gone green. And it should, as I walk around, follow me anywhere that I go. It's not recording yet, all it's doing is just tracking me. And it's got tilt on it as well, so it'll go up and down a little bit. Now where it is now, it's not going to get a great image of me. So you can either have it on the table, or we also have tripods, and this just screws into the bottom. It's fairly, and you can adjust the height really simply as and where you want it. What I've found is if you want to record what you're teaching, so the board, try and have the iPad and the device somewhere central so it captures the board. If you're more interested in what the class is doing and not too worried about capturing what you're projecting, then a kind of a 45-degree angle at the side of the class is quite good to capture stuff. So my device is set up now, and anywhere I walk, it's ready to go. If I want to start recording, there's a red button on there with a red dot on it. I hit that, and it's recording me now. So I can begin my lesson, walk around, and it will follow me pretty much anywhere I go. If I wanted to stop following me, the little button in the center there, so I've got the cross. If I press the button there, it's now not tracking, so I can move out of the way, and it's not going to track me. I can leave it, I want to leave it focused on the screen or focused on something, I can do that. And when it starts tracking me again, button in the center, press that, and then tracking's back on. This also works as a microphone. So while you're teaching, it'll be picking up everything you say. So be careful not to mess around with your badge. I've got a terrible habit of fiddling, and that will all be picked up on the microphone. Also, if you're teaching and you ask a student a question and they're quite far away, it won't be picked up on the microphone. So if you really want to get their answers, walk over and stand next to them to get their answers. So I'm going to finish recording there. And that's the video done. And turn the tracking off as well. and that's made a little kind of video of what I was saying to you just then. I'll give it a name, so I can call it anything I want, and it says preview and trim, or I can just click done, and then that's us sorted. So what's great about Swivl is there are lots and lots of ways in which you can use it now. I have to credit Gemma Sykes because she made this presentation and I'm wholeheartedly stealing it. We're going to use it for lesson observations in a voluntary way, but the big thing I'm excited about, I was discussing this with Ricky before you guys came in, was the fact that I can film myself teaching and then watch myself back teaching and see all the mistakes and different bits and pieces, or capture good bits that I'm doing, and no one else needs to be involved. Ordinarily, to get feedback, I have to get an observer to come into the room and watch me teach, and that's hassle finding when they're free, when it's a good class. It might be there's only one particular aspect of my teaching I'd like them to give feedback on, but they've got to sit through a whole lesson. There's always that fear that if you invite someone in and it goes wrong, there's the embarrassment there. That with a Swivl system, you can film yourself, watch yourself teach, and then you've got no obligation to share that with anyone. Now we've got a school account. I'll show you on the front of the box. There's a school Swivl account. It's got the login there, and this will upload straight away to that. If you just hit upload, it'll send to the school account. Anyone then with the school login, so anyone that uses Swivl can then view that. Maybe you're fine with that. That's absolutely fine. If you want to set up your own Swivl account, that's also fine. And when it comes to uploading, just upload to your own account. It's very, very intuitive. You know, when it comes to uploading, just send it to your own account. It's free, doesn't cost anything. I've got my own account I've got set up. But just be aware that if you do use it and upload it, it goes straight to the school account unless you set up your own account, and that's absolutely fine. It's great as well in terms of capturing the learning that goes on. Do you remember I mentioned those other handsets, the ones where I popped out of the way? These are also units that record. So if you're doing group work, I give one of these to Jamal, and what they can do is I'm talking at the front and say, right, okay, now I'd like Jamal, and Jamal hits the center of his turns his tracker on. The camera will pan around and focus on Jamal, and it will record him and his answer, and then Saraj presses her button and it will pan around. Or you can just leave them in the center of desks while the kids are doing group work, and you can listen in live to what the groups are talking about. Whack a headphone injections in live and capture all the stuff that's going on in the lesson. So we're using it primarily for lesson observations. We've done it a bit in terms of inset, so if we're running a training session, the Middle Leaders course, we've got lots and lots of those sessions cool. We've done it for talks, so when the Naked Diplomat guy came in, we videoed his talk. I'm really excited about capturing bits of lessons, so I teach IB, and sometimes you have 6 kids in the class, and I'll do a brilliant bit of teaching, but only those 6 kids will see it. I'd like to capture that as a video, and then next year, give the kids the video. But it's also a good way of capturing lessons as well. Missed lessons, so we have kids that are away sometimes. There's a really important lesson. I saw a great example, it's actually still on the system. Gemma Sykes was away, so she recorded a little mini intro for her lesson and for the cover work and explained the cover work. So when the teacher arrived, they just hit the link, and it showed a brilliant little kind of 5-minute video of Gemma explaining the cover work to her class. So it meant there was no way there being an issue. Also behaviour management, being able to see during the lesson which kids are causing issues. But if you turn your back on it, so say you're working like this and it can see it, and you turn your back and then move out of line of sight and it can't see the device, it will stop tracking. So be aware to keep line of sight. If it doesn't do that, just walk back into view and it will capture it. Again, if it's a dark place, the weakness of this system is it relies on the iPad camera. iPad cameras aren't amazing, so the issue is that the lighting can be a problem, so be aware of lighting as well. Yeah, take your lanyard off, because that will jiggle together and it will capture all of the sound. And just be mindful of the battery life and the storage life on the iPad. These iPads are dedicated just for the Swivl machines. I'd love it if it was a problem for the amount of storage and people making loads of videos. I don't think that would be a problem just yet, but do make sure you don't get to the end of an amazing lesson and you realise that the camera's died halfway through because the battery's died, or you run out of space. And yeah, just be aware about, in terms of the video, if you upload it to the system, everyone can see that. You can also go in and delete it, obviously, but just be mindful that the better way to do it, if you're doing it for self-reflection, is to make your own account and upload to the cloud. So now you're all excited, you're all going to go away and be thinking, how do I book this marvellous machine? I want to use it next week, aren't you? Aren't you, Mr. Evans?
Oh, well,
I can see the the excitement, just like you're booking your room. So go to schedule, and then it says Swivl. There's 2 machines up from Lucy in the second floor of the library. So just book, as you would normally book any computer room or device, iPads, whatever it is. Book it, put your session in, and that will reserve it for you. My advice would be to make sure you go and get it in advance of your lesson and have a little play. You haven't got to use it for a lesson. If you get it and have a little play around with it in your classroom, your lab, whatever it is, that's fine. No problem with that. I'd advise you to have a little play with it before you got in front of the class. Don't do what I do and thought you could set it up simultaneously and teach a year 10 bottom set. It doesn't go together too well, trust me. So have a little play with it and kind of iron creases out before you get to use it for the class. But it is, I think, as I demonstrated, super quick to set up. Takes no time at all.